If you are struggling with a leash reactive dog, you need to stop what you're doing and watch this video because we're gonna break down the top 3 mistakes every dog owner is making that is making their dog a leash reactive monster. In this video, we're gonna break down each of those mistakes and make sure you stay tuned to the end because we actually have a bonus one that I guarantee you, if you do, you are going to turn your dog into a reactive nightmare in as little as 1 incident. So make sure to stay tuned to the end. Let's get into it. Let's start with the #1 reason why your dog is probably reactive, and it has to do with the fact that your energy sucks. Now, I don't mean to offend you, but I gotta speak the honest truth here so that we can learn from it and get better. So what do I mean by your energy sucks? If you walk out your front door like you're walking out into the south side of Chicago in the middle of a gang war, and you have so much tension on the line, you got the leash wrapped around your hand 5 times, your shoulders are scrunched up, you got a death grip on the leash, a ton of back tension, you're peeking out the front door a few times before you go out. Well, I want you to know that your dog picks up on all of that. Dogs are experts at reading body language. They're actually better at reading human body language than even humans. So if I can tell from a mile away that you're nervous as hell holding the leash, trust me when I tell you your dog can see it, they can smell it, they can hear it, and of course they can feel that tension. So if you're gearing up like you're getting ready to get into a gang fight, then that's exactly what your dog's gonna think's gonna happen. And so they're gearing up for it too. They don't know where the threat is or where it's gonna come from, but whatever it is, they are ready for it. In fact, this will make even more sense when I show you a human example of both right now.
I love going on a walk with my daddy. This is so fun. This is spooky. Why is my dad walking so weird? It's freaking me out. My daddy's being weird. This walk is freaking me out.
How'd this last walk make you feel?
Uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable? What else?
And weird.
Weird, yeah? What did it feel like we were walking into? Something safe or something dangerous?
Weird and dangerous.
Weird and dangerous, yeah? Which would you rather? Would you rather walk the first way or the second way?
First one.
First way, right? Yeah. Now that you know that your energy and body language starts the entire story, instead of walking out totally tight with the leash wrapped around your hand 15 times, I need you to be loose. I need you to be relaxed. I need you to be confident. I need you to understand that this is your walk, and no matter what you encounter, you'll be able to overcome that. And if you walk out the door with that much confidence, chances are your dog won't even be reactive anyways because they're walking out into a totally different environment with totally different energies. As we dive deeper into this video, we're gonna find more tips to give you so that you can actually have the confidence to walk out with your head held high. Now let's talk about the mistake that almost every dog owner makes if their dog is reactive when they go on walks, and that is baby talking and rewarding your dog and removing them from the situation, all which compounds the issue and proves to your dog their theory that when they act like a wild animal and they are reactive and they bark and they howl and they scream and they lunge and they hackle up and they look stupid, you're gonna stop and go, "It's okay, baby, I like that behavior." And then what you do is, as that's happening, they continue to act stupid because you're encouraging it. And then either the dog that was approaching you eventually walks by or gets out of the picture, which proves to your dog their theory is correct. Act a fool, I get pet, I get praise, and the bad thing goes away. Or you remove them from the situation, say, "It's okay, you barked, yeah, good little barker, now let me pull you from the situation and I'll make that bad thing go away. All you gotta do is keep doing the thing," because I want you to understand something. Your dog knows speaking English, so they don't know the words coming out of your mouth.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
They don't know that you're telling them that it's okay and they don't need to bark. Do you and your dog a huge favor. Stop the baby talking. You need to be neutral. You need to be calm. You need to not be reactive. You need to, at minimum, stop rewarding that behavior and stop yelling useless commands to your dog that your dog isn't listening to anyway, such as yelling their name, telling them to please stop doing that, stop, sit, and then making excuses like, "Oh, I promise they're a nice dog, so just they're having a bad day. How about just shut up? There's nothing to talk about. There's nothing to reward. There's nothing to get upset about. Be calm and just keep walking. I promise you, it'll be all right. Folks, if you didn't know, we actually have a brand new course called Dealing with Aggressive and Reactive Dogs, the Playbook, where we dive in really deep on every single type of aggression, reactivity, resource guarding, you name it. More importantly, show you step-by-step solutions on how to solve it. This course is a professional grade course built for professional dog trainers and of course, folks just like you at home who are desperately seeking help with your aggressive, reactive, and resource guarding dog. So without further ado, it's available right now at DIYcanine.com. Let's get back to the video. If your dog is reactive when you take it out on a walk, chances are there's a complete lack of structure, control, and obedience inside your home. So you know what you need to do to fix the problems outside your home? Sit. You need to start fixing the problems inside your home. You need your dog to be calm, reliable, obedient, and you need to be unbelievably consistent. Your dog's not going to learn how to sit, stay in one rep, but you can see the difference just between one more rep, meaning rep 1 to rep 2. When I say sit, it means right now. It also means to hold it, but he's going to learn as we continue to push through this that we're not going to go for a walk if I can't get you to calm down and focus on me. If your energy's already at an 80, 90, 100 miles an hour before we even walk out, and it's a complete shit show at your front door, can you imagine what it's gonna look like when you get down the driveway and onto the sidewalk and around the corner and you encounter your first real distraction? That is not the time to try to teach your dog obedience. That is not the time to try to reinforce the rules that don't exist even inside your home, because they sure as hell aren't gonna exist outside the home. You can see the difference already in just 60 seconds of work. My encouragement to you is if you're dealing with issues outside your home, fix them inside your home. Pay attention to the little things, fix the little things, and you won't have to fix the big things. They will sort themselves out later. And folks, we probably saved the best for last. And what I'm about to tell you is gonna keep your dog from ever becoming reactive to begin with. And if your dog is reactive, you'll probably at least now understand why your dog's reactive and at least stop repeating the same behaviors, making it worse and worse and worse as time goes on. And so there's 3 main points I wanna talk about. The first one is, I gotta ask you, if you take your dog on a walk and every time you take it on a walk, it's leash reactive, I gotta ask you, like, why do you keep taking your dog on a walk? It's not enjoyable for you or your dog, and you're just repeating bad behavior after bad behavior. And by the way, whoever said that you have to walk your dog every day and that's the solution to all your problems? Yeah, granted, I've said a walk a day will keep the dog trainer away, but only if you're doing it right. But if you keep rehearsing it wrong, you're just going deeper down a really ugly rabbit hole that's hard to pull out from. Instead, let me tell you something different. What if there was a way to exercise your dog both physically and mentally that didn't require you stepping out your front door into what appears to be downtown Fallujah to your dog? Free. You can get your dog to socialize and have fun with your other dogs at home, or maybe your neighbor's dog, if and only if it's well trained and well socialized. This is a great way for your dogs to get that exposure in a nice, healthy way, get the energy out. What about just staying at home and doing some brain games with your dog, working on obedience inside and outside your home? What happened to good old fetch? I promise you 5 or 10 minutes of fetch is better than a 30-minute walk all day, every day. Now, having said that, if you do decide to take your dog on a walk, here comes the big one, number 2. Your dog does not ever need to meet another dog on the walk ever again. Let me repeat that for the folks in the back. Never does your dog need to meet another dog on the walk. Thanos never meets any other dog on the walk while we're out. You know why? He doesn't need to. It's man's best friend. He doesn't care about other dogs. You know why? Because I've never allowed him to just meet and greet a bunch of random stupid ass dogs. He gets to play with Xena. He gets to play with other dogs that are here that are, once again, well trained and well socialized. But when we meet random dogs on the street, that's exactly what they are. Random as all get out. I don't know that dog's training, experience, background, temperament, and I will tell you 99.9% of the time, it's nothing good. Those dogs are usually never trained. Temperament, very questionable. Socialization, even worse. So in other words, the juice is never worth the squeeze. The most enjoyment he'll get is he'll get to sniff them for 5 or 10 seconds, a little tail wag, and then you have that awkward, oh, okay, well, I'll see you later, except I won't ever see you again. And so that 10 seconds of maybe it going well does not outweigh the potential for there to be a horrendous dogfight. And if dogfights are gonna happen, they happen in about the first 3 to 5 seconds of dogs meeting. So it's like, oh, is he friendly? Oh yeah, I think he's friendly. And they just adopted the dog from the shelter. They meet, they sniff, and boom, they attack. And now you have a dog immediately becoming reactive for the rest of its life because you just physically and mentally traumatized that dog for life. In other words, the juice ain't worth the squeeze. When next time someone wants their dog to meet your dog, you can simply say, hey, I'm sorry, he's in training, and go about your merry way. And finally, this leads me to the big one, baby. Maybe save the biggest and best one for last. Number 3, don't you ever, 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 under any circumstances, take your dog to a dog park. The only thing that I can guarantee will happen is that your dog is going to become a reactive prick of a dog. You know why? Because when you let your dog run around with a bunch of untrained, unsocialized, out of control dogs, the only thing that's for sure gonna happen is it's either gonna get jumped, humped, or attacked. It's only a matter of when it's gonna happen and how bad it's gonna be. Hang outside of a dog park for about 30 minutes to an hour and I guarantee you're gonna see at least one bad dog fight. You don't need your dog to experience any of that. Once again, your dog does not need to be well socialized with other dogs. They live in a human world. They need to be well socialized with humans. Man's best friend. So whatever happened to just playing fetch in the backyard, whatever happened with just enjoying time with your dog, Thanos has never been to a dog park and never will be to a dog park. And the same for Xena and the same for Rocky. Now, if you have a nice, well-trained dog like this, let him play in your own backyard. Let him play in your house. Set up a play date somewhere. That's super healthy. And it's a lot easier to keep track of 2 well-trained dogs that are both e-collar trained, by the way. So if something's about to start, we can stop it real early. But anyways, enough yapping for me. Hopefully this video has been extremely helpful for you. We aim to help you guys understand why your dogs are reactive and more importantly, get to the bottom of it and solve that reactivity once and for all. So this is just a second video in a series of videos that we're going to talk about reactivity and aggression, etc. So if you missed the first one, go back and watch it. Make sure to subscribe so you can get the next video. And the last but certainly not least, we have a brand new course called Dealing with Reactivity and Aggression, where we deal with everything from fear-based reactivity, resource guarding, dominance, misplaced prey drive, you name it. In other words, if your dog is out of control and reactive and aggressive and causing you all kinds of issues and stress, this course aims to solve all of those problems and more. And of course, like with every course at DIYK9.com, it's backed with a 100% money-back guarantee. In other words, if you don't love it and it doesn't work, you get your money back. So you have no risk. I highly recommend you try it. If you got a dog that you're dealing with some issues, this course is guaranteed to help you out. So thank you guys so much again for watching. Make sure to like, share, subscribe. We'll see you on the next one. And spin you around, and a twirl, and a twirl. Oops, bumped into you.